Hey guys, today I had a really great day. I connected with a friend and we talked a lot of things, personal development and personal values. And I thought it would be a great time to share a couple of my top favorite books that have given me strength, that have inspired me, and that have taught me a lot of the mindset and the tools and the inspiration that I use in my daily life. So hold on one second. I'm gonna grab. There's four books that I'm gonna take out, and I had a trouble narrowing down to four books because there's more that I obviously feel empowered by, but I'm going to focus on these four and talk a little bit about each one. One second. Okay, so I'm going to start with The Gifts of Imperfection. So this is a book by Brené Brown. She is a social worker. She has a PhD in social work, and she also speaks and she writes, and she's very inspirational. Her work involves a lot around embracing vulnerability, around being our most authentic selves, letting go. Here it says letting go of who we think we should be to be who we are. And that's a huge thing. It takes a lot of courage, but surprisingly and not surprisingly really, the truth is that we can't really connect if we don't show up and be who we are and kind of enter the arena, as she says, where, you know, there will be critics, but what matters is that we dare greatly, because she also has another book. It's called Daring Greatly, and she talks more in detail about her work. This book is a bit shorter. But life is about going to the arena, being seen, doing the things that we truly want to do, regardless of sometimes of the opinions of others that may not be so encouraging. And we're so hungry for approval, and we're so hungry for wanting to do the right thing, when really it's just about doing what we feel and being who we are and getting people to support us on that journey. So this is definitely an amazing book. I've read it 3 times, I think, and it really helped me a lot at many times in my life. Another book, and this is one of the first books I've read. I've also read it 2 or 3 times, I think twice, is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Paulo Coelho is very spiritual. He is very deep and insightful, and he uses a fictional account of a boy who goes on this life journey to find himself and to follow his dream, and he kind of lets go of his comfort zone, and he lets go of the life that he was living to go explore the world. And in a nutshell, I don't want to give out the whole story, but it is super inspirational, and although it's fiction, there are so many points there that are just so applicable to our daily lives and to the courage we need in living our everyday lives, in embracing taking risks, in following our heart, no matter what people may think. And I've even went so far as to highlight sections in this book because they were just so profoundly insightful and just as simple, honest, deep truths. And Paulo Coelho does a great job of doing that. Just as a person, he's very inspirational, very knowledgeable. He has a great blog if you want to follow that as well. And anyways, I don't want to say too much about it. It's also a pretty short book. It's about 173 pages. So I say take a stab. It's really about following your heart. Okay, now the third book is kind of one that's more focused on personal development. It's very focused on kind of mindset and strategy. It's not, I'd say Brené Brown and Paulo Coelho have a more creative kind of touch to their work. This is more just grounded in research and kind of just ways of thinking that work. And it's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, and it's by Susan Jeffers. She has a PhD. And she talks about basically well, let's feel the fear and do it anyway. So it's basically, you know, you have those things, you identify those things that you really want to do in life, and for whatever reason, we're scared, because fear is one of the, probably the main thing that stops us from doing what we really want. And so it says, fear is never gonna go away. It's something we all feel. But the difference between the people who live their dream, the people who don't, or the people who end up having the courage to do what they want versus people that don't, is not that there's no fear, but that they feel the fear and they move with it and they do what they want anyway. So I find that's pretty much the gist of it. And it talks about turning fear into indecision and anger into power, action, and love. So she talks a lot about moving from the spectrum of feeling a victim to our circumstance to a more powerful place in our life where we say, you know, I am the creator of my life and fear is not going to stop me. It's a feeling I'm going to feel and I'm going to do what I want anyway. So this is also a really great book. I've highlighted sections as well, and it's very direct. It's not too theoretical, which is awesome. The fourth book that I found was so helpful to me, because I'm always interested in connection, in how we best relate to each other, in how we create the most authentic, real relationships with each other and in groups and with ourselves. And so Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is very much, gave me so much insight into understanding kind of what works between people. Like, and it might be something as simple as smiling. Like, first impressions are such a big deal, and fortunately and unfortunately, we judge each other by the first impression. And in a way, a first impression is important. It's very important. And, you know, if someone smiles as a greeting, that's the first thing that they do, it gives the person that wants to approach them, whether it's a guy, whether it's a friend, coworker, it doesn't matter who it is, this person is approachable, this person is willing, this person's open. A smile can do that much. And so from something as simple as that, to listening to just really secrets and proven strategies, like through experience, like you can actually apply it in your life and find that these strategies work and that they build stronger, more connected relationships. And the great thing about Dale Carnegie is that he uses examples. So he talks about specific situations in which those strategies would work. Anyways, so these are the 4 books that I really rave. They're actually the 4 that I've probably highlighted. I've gone so far as to emphasize certain sections that I really feel inspired by or I found worked for me in my life. But there are a few other books that I'm either still reading or, you know, they're not my number one, the first most inspirational book in my life, but as my life continues to unfold, they become more important, and what those books teach has come into my life as something that is useful now. So maybe I'll record another video to talk about those books, and in the meantime, I've never recorded a video that's almost 10 minutes, so this is a first, but I feel that this is a lot of valuable information that I wanted to share with you guys, and I look forward to connecting again.